Excuse me?
Oh my goodness. Okay, that's enough of those. I totally screwed up the technology on this one with getting the stream scheduled. It was scheduled for something like Wednesday morning at 2:30 in the morning or something like that. I don't know. I messed up. But anyway, hello. Because I screwed up the scheduling, there's like no one here, and so I'm streaming to myself for a bit. I will just do my stream as normal, and hopefully somebody will show up. We'll see how that goes. Now I know how Andrew at Misfit Corner Comics feels. So first, what I will do is here we go. I will present this. This is
going to be Noirlem and
prior unboxing.
Yeah, Noirlem. So not New Orleans, not other stuff. Anyway, I'm unboxing this on a video, as you probably know already, because we're going to review it. So I got to get it read over the weekend, and then hopefully I'll get that done. So Josh did a nice job packing this. He wrote my name on or my initials on the box there. So anyway, so I got to keep that covered. Pre-record. I don't need to narrate the pre-record if I'm probably there live telling you that I'm about to, show you a pre-recorded video. Then in the pre-recorded video, I don't have to say, this is a pre-recorded video. That's just dumb. It's probably too much light. There we go. Alrighty. This was sent media mail, which you can't do if there are external ads in your Christmas. Are these mints? Wait, too much light. Try that. Nope, too dark. Oh, see that? Little snowflakes. Very Christmassy. I like it. Right, so what do we got? I think I know what this is. Because Neff opened his already. So we all know what's in here. It's not mints. How? Where's the... I can't feel where the thingy ends. Oh, there it is. This is really cool. This little baggy thing. So what do we got here? Card. Yeah. Noirlem card. Nice. Alright. Set that aside. I am hurrying a bit. Hope you don't mind. And this. Cool. It's a lighter. That is awesome. I can't believe he gave away lighters. This is neat. And it, yep, she sparks. Of course, there's a wick right there. There is. There's no oil in it. Okay. Well, when I get something in media mail, I kind of expect to get flammable liquids with it, but I guess not this time. That probably would have made it too heavy to have liquid in the package. But yes, media mail always means flammable liquids. Remember that. So very cool. Nicely packaged. Barcode. Okay. I wonder where that was made. And there's the book. Notice he had the metal box on the back of the board so he doesn't damage the book. That's thinking ahead. And we're probably about to, as we go over this live, look at the art a lot more, so I don't need to show it off too much. It's a nice stock on the cover. It's an unusual texture, but it's not a bad one. There's one similar to it that's a little more like reptile skin. pretty soft. Signed. So that's cool. Yep, there it is. Signed right there. I try to be gentle, unlike Neff. And a matte paper, not glossy. I like it. It's like faux newsprint. It's just matte. Very flat paper. Cool. And we're going to go over this. So Noirlem is on the way. Hey, thanks for checking out.
Yep. All right, there's that. Let's see what I got to do here. I see a couple people showing up. Thanks a bunch. I had the chat set to not live, but all right. We're here for opening. That's one opening. How many openings do we want today? 2, 3? I can do a few. This one came the other day. I love it when people like you take the label off and somebody's written your name underneath, but this guy did it in pencil. I could erase it, but it's sort of special. Like, wow, they didn't just print my name out. They know my name. That's so cool. Anyway, making noise. Where's that taped on the other side? Arg. What's my computer doing? All right. Defeated by cellophane. There we go. Winnie the Pooh. Why is the backer board so wide? So, Winnie the Pooh, Demon Hunter. I think I just backed for. I hope this is a good comic. Yeah, it's just a wide backer board. There's nothing extra in there, but we'll take a look at it. So, welcome. Nice to see you here. There we go. Oh, that was kind of a weird backer board. Yes, sort of a strange backer board. And, oh, it came with a Pooh sticker. What is he doing? That is... see, where's the camera? There it is. Fuzzy as always. I went through the settings to hopefully make sure this is in focus. We'll see. There we go. Cool. Came with a sticker. Very nice. Trying to adopt all of Andrew's habits, like very nice is his thing. Oh, tonight I have an outro video that's not fully edited, so I just exported some stuff I was doing and said that's it for the moment. Winnie the Pooh, Demon Hunter. Winnie the Pooh is in public domain. Who knows what we can do with him now? Written and illustrated by Nicholas Mueller. Story by Nate DeRees. Matthew DeRees. So I guess that means story by, I take to mean he did the major plot, and then written would be like dialogue and making the plot function. Something like that. Yeah, the artwork's fine. Colors are a little pastel. Nothing wrong with that. Let's see what we got. Shifted from greens to browns. Somehow we've jumped in time. Looks like Christopher Robin is older. Little chibi-ish face there. Radio. Got to catch in the morning. We'll catch the full show on replay. I have a huge delay. It's like 45 seconds when you guys comment to it showing up in StreamYard. Have a great one. Sure. Thanks for stopping by, though. My new time slot is kind of tough. So. We got books. You've got this? Please have this. I don't know about, what's his name's, is it Nathan? No. Nicholas. I don't know about Nicholas's writing from other things because I haven't read his other things, but he has done a superhero comic before. So a lot of space here. Not a lot of dialogue. Really sparse. Probably just open to a quiet moment. Yeah, that looks pretty cool. Bear in mind, I'm looking at everything upside down, but that looks cool. They're young again. Huh. I wonder how the story is told, if it's all like mixing flashback and new material. We shall see. Anyway, that's a quick glance at Winnie the Pooh Demon Hunter. I'll put that away. I think it's going to be a short stream tonight, just because I have a lot to do. I got squished like a grape at jiu-jitsu today. I was working with the big guy again, and pretty much it's you're here, your opponent's there, and you entangle this way and then take control of that leg of theirs. But that means they are entirely putting their weight on your belly while you're on your back, and it was heavy. So it was really heavy. So there's 2 openings for you. That was quick. Anyway, let's look at Noirlem. Yeah, it's going to be a quick stream. I can already tell. So here's Noirlem. Let's see. How do I begin on this one? This one had a lot of promise. I found a lot of problems in it, but I kind of figured out what he was trying to do. And he was just trying to tell a detective story, but he was also trying to weave into it the woes of the times. And because I never really caught exactly what time this is supposed to be, I kept thinking 40s or 20s. I don't think there were that many vehicles in the 20s, but the jazz era is here. And the 40s weren't like, they weren't talking about World War II or III or the Depression into the 30s. So I think it's the 20s. So jazz era in Harlem. And it's just a murder mystery if you haven't read it yet. But so everything's kind of dark like this. And by dark, I mean everything's blue toned in the backgrounds. So even in later portions of the book where it looks like it should be daytime and maybe there'd be light in a window, it just seems like everything we're looking at happens at night. So at certain points, our main character, Carmichael Coleman, interesting name. So like all this could be at night. And a lot of the story does, I think, take place at night. But then here, is this supposed to be the sun in the window? Okay. But it's still really dark inside where Carmichael Coleman, our main character, is teaching with students. Down here. I like the coloring. It's just, I think some of the setting was a little bit off for a time of day. It does keep a consistent tone, though, because of that. So even when you get the idea that these kids coming to school early in the morning is this pre-dawn? How pre-dawn is this? If it's still that dark out up in New York, because they're at a higher latitude, it's a little confusing there in time of day with the coloring. So it just seems like everything is early morning or into the evening. Anyway, so there's that. Early on, we're introduced to Carson Coleman. Wait, I better make sure I'm going to get his name right. I'm going to screw this up. Why did I not double check the names before going live? Anyway, Coleman. Coleman's his last name, I think. And Carmichael Coleman. There we go. Coleman Carmichael. Holy cow. There's his name. Coleman Carmichael. Got it. So we first establish him as being a teacher and a little bit of a pillar in the community. He just knows everybody. But that scowl, flip that around for you, that scowl never leaves his face. He is just always angry through this whole book. And let's see. He's first established to be, pretty brilliant. Let's see. Am I missing a page here? No. So the pacing is okay in terms of the opening. So we get established, we see little things happening, and then something happens by the end of this. One of the problems I ran into, the first death here is an accidental suicide, but the way it happens popped me out of the believability so much that it made it a little more difficult for me to accept. Oh God, Carmichael Coleman. I think that's his name. Jeez, what is wrong with me? Anyway, it made it a little bit more difficult for me to accept him as a character. And by that, I mean, he's so brilliantly intelligent, he can just figure things out without little clues. We're establishing character at this point. So the good part of the writing is that task was being done as opposed to being skipped. And it's demonstrated, not told to you. So that's another good thing. Show, don't tell. I appreciated that. Hey, how you doing, Crazy Mad? I haven't looked up in a little bit. Sorry. All right, there. I'm going to lower the window this is in so I can actually see the chat better. There we go. That'll work. All right, so he's establishing character. That's a good writing technique. My problem with establishing the character was it was a bit overbearing. That is, the character himself is a bit overbearing, and it actually becomes unlikable by the middle of the book. For me, the other guys I talked to, they don't find him unlikable, um, but there we are. So this is Officer Baldwin, who is a detective at this point, and he gets knocked down from detective later because he's sort of freelancing a little bit. I just jumped in. That's cool. Nope, this hasn't come over yet. I have a huge delay between the YouTube window and the StreamYard window. So let's see. Felix Haas, thanks for stopping by. Hail and bow to the channel. These things are not showing up in StreamYard yet. I can't highlight them. Wow. What book is this? This is Noirlem. There we are. So the title is Noirlem the Mentor. And this is Noirlem, and this is his name. Flip this around. Where I got to make sure I say it right. I'm never going to say it right. Coleman Carmichael. I just had it. Thanks, Coleman, Mr. Carmichael. There we go. Coleman Carmichael. It's the lantern, and then the other word. Right. He's established as a bit of a I don't want to say polymath, but hi, Felix. He is. Hold on. I gotta get these two in sync. Oh, there we are. Now everybody showed up. Yep. There you are. Hello, Felix. Crazy Haas. Crazy Mad. All right. So Coleman is not a know-it-all, but he's rather well versed because he's a teacher and he teaches multiple subjects, so he has an idea of what's going on. The opening scene, the opening murder, isn't actually a murder, and that's where we get to introduce several dynamics happening. One is the racial dynamic, and it just gets hammered on to the point where it's almost silly. Like, this guy is angry about race through the first third of the book to establish his character, and to be honest, it's too much. Like, it's race was an important issue at this point, but it's almost like he's constantly lecturing and talking down to our detective Baldwin, and Baldwin is kind of a simp, to be honest. He sees an intelligent man, he wants to work with him, but it becomes this weird dependency where Coleman Carmichael is doing all the thinking, and Baldwin is just lost the entire time. Now, there is a beat in this book towards the end that I kind of skipped, which would be, how did Coleman put together the final clues that told him who the murderer really was? What was the last thing that made him go, oh, it had to be this person? Like, I sort of missed that maybe one panel where you catch the flip and you say he's got it now, even if you don't. So anyway, the first death is he's at a party. It's a jazz party, music everywhere, and a lady walks into the restroom and sees a dead man on the toilet. He hears her screaming from the other room, or from his own apartment next door. And in discussing this, he figures the whole thing out without having to see the body or the scene or anything too up close. He knows the guy who's passed away, and so what he figures is the music must have caused. Where are we on this? I'm trying to see where the drawing is. The music had to have caused. Here we go. Flashbacks are in black and white. That's a good thing. This guy doesn't do drugs, and I know that at that time, marijuana and heroin were a huge black stereotype. So no good, but they were. That's just the history of it. So if the music thumping caused this syringe to fall off the medicine cabinet, which would have been open for God knows why reason, hitting him in the leg, and then him, reacting but accidentally pushing the plunger down. All right, for me, there's a lot of this broke believability for me, and I just had to accept it. But here's the problem: is see, this syringe is obviously made of plastic, like a modern syringe. Back then, if you had a syringe at home, it might have been made of metal. That's one, but that's not the key thing. Something this lightweight would not penetrate deep enough to get into a vein very well. And here we go. There's another problem. YouTube said you weren't streaming for over another hour right before you started streaming for some reason. Some people might not know you are. Yeah, I saw that. I tweeted it out again. I had somehow botched the scheduling when I created this in StreamYard. So that's my fault. That's what was going on. And yes, Noirlem is in Barnes and Noble. Okay. By the way, the short version of this, you literally just got the notification. Totally my fault. I had to change the time in StreamYard, and then YouTube updates from that, or StreamYard notifies up YouTube, and then you guys all get a notification, maybe. So sorry. All right. Yeah. Sorry about that. Okay. Yeah. So a syringe like this doesn't have enough weight in it, even with the needle leading. But the rest of the syringe probably outweighs the needle, first off. So it's not going to fall directly straight down like a dart. Then, you can make it do that, but yeah, especially if it's falling off of a shelf, it's probably going to tumble. But less than that, it doesn't weigh enough to penetrate far enough to get into a vein. And if you're going to bring your hand down on it, it's probably going to be wiggly enough to fall over and not worry about plunging in an air embolism, which is what kills the guy if you put air. That is, I've had air put into my vein before, but literally, if you put enough air into a vein, it'll cause cardiac arrest. So, because the heart can't pump against something compressible like that, so air is compressible. So he figures. So this is to establish that Coleman is intelligent. That's the purpose going on here with this scene, and him figuring out what's going on ahead of our white detective. He's also very suspicious of the detective at first, tries to be a little bit more accepting later, but is always demeaning and talking down to, all right, if I'm going to move over here, then I got to move the camera over. There we go. That's better. And get that out of the way. There we are. Okay. So really, to me, he's just unlikable. I mean, he's a jerk. But this popped me out of the suspension of disbelief a little too far to where establishing Coleman as a character that I could really like and get along with, and appreciate, it broke me while I was reading it. So it's like, oh damn. And so it was more of a deliberate acceptance rather than being drawn into the story to just take this guy for what his personality is. So, and I'm not a fan of having to cheer for a protagonist who's generally unpleasant and doesn't change. All right. So the story goes on, and then a woman is murdered at a dock, and here's our murderer right here. And she's, aren't you a lovely thing? It's the murderer's line. And yeah, just kills her right out. So another thing that came out, so we go back and forth, I'm sorry, and this is chapter 1 of 3. So not the whole book. The whole book has 3 chapters in it. But we go back and forth a bit with this arguing, and it's always, I mean, I've been around people like Coleman, and I do not like it. I get away from people like this now. He is always domineering. I don't know why this guy is characterized to not to be a detective and yet not have a brain enough in his head. He's got a little bit of one, but Coleman is just so pushy that I could see people giving up and saying, okay, just tell me what you're thinking. That kind of thing. So we don't see a lot of what's going on in his head. This is, oh geez, I just lost his name. I'm not going to look it up. We'll just call him Gibson. I forget. So we forget what's going on in Gibson's head. Gibson is not his name, and it's a little overbearing. That's it. How overbearing do I have to be to say it's overbearing? So we get that back and forth through several things and different settings, including, there's one of these that has a bad lettering in it, but okay, including one of these where, this is a scenario. They're having lunch at a diner, and it's just even picking where to go for lunch. The guy whose name I just screwed up again, we'll call him Gibson, invites Coleman to lunch. And of course, Coleman has to flip it over and dominate and turn it around and say, no, we're going to where I pick and I pay. And of course, it's a racial thing again. We're going to a Black and Tan, a place that he won't get kicked out of, etc. And so the racial thing is kind of hammered on through the whole book, which I think, especially in the beginning or the first half, takes away from the story. All right, we move on. They go around. They find a pattern. There are more clues. They're looking for, they're retracing the killer's steps and the victim's steps. Sorry. As much as they try to retrace the victim's steps, just forgot to show off my bookmark. Yeah, there we are. They notice that things don't really fit. Like, why was one of the victims not, in this case, this is the one that we're looking at, not closer to her apartment where she was going to say hello to her husband between jobs, and everybody's working 2 jobs. So we get that. We meet the husband. He's unpleasant. They're going around asking questions. They do get a little bit of information out of a night watchman, and it has more. It's more to bring out that the police force were not doing their job in terms of. I'm double checking the chat. The police were not doing their job like was established early on with investigating crimes properly. That's what's brought out of there. So we see a gun here. That's fine. And the one thing that ruined things for me again was they said that they found at the scene 30 shell casings from a 38. There's no reason for there to be shell casings from a 38 if you know guns. A 38 is a revolver. At least in this time, it would be a revolver. I don't know what else you can shoot from a 38 now, but the shell casings don't spit out. They stay in. I guess since Josh is going to watch this later, Josh, if you don't know guns, so with a revolver, here's my gun. There's a cylinder in the back that has like the 6 bullets in it, and that's what rotates to line up each bullet in as chambered with the barrel. That rotates when you cock it to bring up the next bullet, and after it's fired, the empty shell stays there in the cylinder, and then you cock it again, and it rotates the cylinder again. So for the for the murderer to have shell casings on the ground, the murderer would have had to pop the cylinder out, which revolvers do. It kind of hinges over to one side, and dump the shell casings out, which is insane. No criminal would do that. So again, little mistake. Some people would call it a big mistake, but it breaks the credibility, and that is one of the clues that led him to who this had to be. Now, it's right about here, the nature of all things, that he's reminded of who it could be while he watches this woman put her hair up. And he remembers things from the hair salon where different people are pictured. Why? What exactly was the clue that he put together? I think it's listed later, but it's just not clear what did he get. So trying to figure here what happened, you don't get enough as a reader to kind of just work barely ahead. You can empty the cylinder. Yep, exactly. Right. So that's a little bit weak of a clue in the end. I'm sorry, referring to the bullet, the shell casings. Of course, then I don't know how exactly. We got a lot of flashback at the end. I don't know how exactly ballistics would have been way back then to take a found slug, because then if you're using a slug and not a hollow point, it can just go through a person. In that case, if it goes through a person, where does it go? And if they find it, how malformed is it going to be? So I don't know if back then they could have identified from a slug what type of bullet it was, other than just weighing the slug. So I have no idea. Right. Anyway, now a really cool thing. I thought this was cool. This is a nice little thing to put in a book. We're past the resolution, and here when Coleman gives the dude I've nicknamed Gibson, because I have no idea why I forgot his name, I'm nervous, gives him his card. It's actually in the book. There's a business card in the book here. So that was a nice touch. All right. So are there problems with the book? Oh, yes. A little bit of the lighting, especially in some of the scenes. Like, this doesn't look like it's fully daytime, so things could be a little bit brighter. This looks like it's sunset, maybe. Don't know. So that's one, is some of the daytime scenes. And then two, let's see what else we got here. I like the color palette a lot. I like how it all looks very watercolory. That's cool. I like what he was trying to do. I don't like those shortcomings I've already named. So what? We got Mo Biggs. Hey, Mo. That went by fast. Hello. Hello, Mo. Everybody else is saying hail and bow. Hollow points deform and fragment. Right. So that's why I was told hollow points are people bullets, and I was told never use a slug to carry around, or sorry, never use a full metal jacket with a solid slug to carry around, because if it shoots through the person, you're responsible for what goes on, or for wherever it goes on and hits. So just in case, I'll be back in a minute. Enjoy the artwork. Yeah. Okay, that is a hollow point, which I'm pretty sure Felix knows. Whoops. I'm not on the microphone. This is a hollow point, which I'm pretty sure Felix knows. And I'm trying to find another one. They're not here. I thought it'd be a good thing to say. If you ever see the hollow points that have a little ball in the end, get rid of those as fast as you can. What I've been told by an officer and one of the guys at the bullion shop is that if your hollow point has a ball in the end, it helps it split apart better when it hits the target or the person. And the cops have started considering that to be a deliberately greater sense of violence. Oh no, this is a 45. Sorry, Felix. I wanted a 9mm, but my buddy had a tax debt to settle, and so he sold me his 45. So no, this is a 45. But 9mm will be my next purchase if I ever buy another gun. So anyway, but yeah, if they have a little ball in the end, it helps it split apart, and cops have decided to use that to characterize you as being deliberately more violent if in wanting to cause damage. Um, if you're caught carrying those around. So I was advised to get rid of those as soon as I could, like use them for target practice just to get rid of them. So here we go. Base blue pulling out hollow points. Yeah. Anyway, if it's a solid slug, though, it doesn't splinter apart as much. It may deform, but it doesn't splinter apart. And if it pops out the far side of the target, you're responsible for where else it hits. I have big hands. Oh, thank you. That's nothing. You should see my feet. All right. Sure. I have big hands. So where are we? There we go. And that's down here 7 inches from line up the tip. Okay, 7.5 inches is I'm doing mirror image angle stuff. Yeah, 7.5, 8 inches from fingertip to that line on the wrist. That's my hands. I'm just shy of a size 13 foot, so there you go. Anyway, yeah, 9mm will be cool. So I thought that'd be a good chance to say I learned something from somebody. I'm passing it on. Anyway, I enjoyed what the book was supposed to be, and I could see what he was trying to do. So that's good. I can also see where he failed to do it in terms of the characterization was a little too heavy-handed. The coloring was a little too dark in certain scenes only. Like obviously this is at night. Okay, certain scenes only, and it's very few of them. And then, oh yeah, he got the technical stuff wrong. Okay, fine, in 2 instances. But I see that he's trying to do, and he's a little just too heavy-handed at trying to bring out the racial thing. I guess that's a good place to end it on that. So there's that. Too dark. Now you sound like Bancroft. Well, I meant the daylight scenes. There you go. Now I sound like Bancroft. No, I can't speak as weirdly as he does. So, okay. I said if there's time, and this is a fast stream. That went by quick. Make of what I've said. Make what you want of what I've said. Excuse me. Because if you want to buy the book, Felix posted a link earlier. Just scroll up a bit, right there, Barnes and Noble. If you still want to buy it and read it, you can. You may enjoy it. And I thought this might go short, so here is one of Mark Polton's early books. I unwrapped this on a stream weeks and weeks ago. It's called Pizza Tree. It's his first horror book. So what do we got here? Yep, there we go. Another link coming up for you guys. Now let's see. I can't load Etsy because I'm on a VPN and Etsy doesn't like my VPN. But you can find Mark Polton's books on Etsy, and I think that's where I got this one. So, Pizza Tree, it's a cute book. It's meant to be a kid's book, and it's a little bit autobiographical. So that's cool. That's really cool. It's a very cute kid's book. I'd say get it. And what it is they're at a pizzeria, and his kid literally. Chase, his kid. This is his family. That's the autobiographical part. And this book's real small. Like it's about, I guess, 9 inches. So, what do we got? This sounds like Halloween Tree, but is it? But more tasteful? Yes. This is a family friendly book. I don't quite remember what Halloween Tree is. They're at a pizzeria, and Chase does not get the bear or whatever out of the claw machine thing that he's trying for. So his mom decides to get it for him, but it turns out to be this weird pineapple with tentacles, little plushie, which apparently brings with it a curse. And Chase is a little kid, so he's talking about he wishes he could have pizza every day, but it's expensive, and and yeah, you just plant a slice of pepperoni and a pizza tree will grow. And parents are laughing at him. He feels kind of dumb, so he sneaks home a pepperoni and plants a pizza tree, which grows. There's literally a pizza tree. However, the tasteful was a dad joke about the pizza aspect. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry, Mo. I missed it. Anyway, they start having trouble with notice the tree is just kind of, I guess it's a little bright. Should I darken it up in here? Okay, that's really dark. The tree there is sleeping. So they have their pizza tree. They actually get to be known by it in the neighborhood. Come on. And eventually, Chase starts having like emotional problems and stuff and tries to bite his friend out of anger. It's hilarious. This is a really cute book, and the tree calls to him at night. It's a horror book. They find him in the morning. The coloring in here, because it's a kid's book, it's almost monotone kind of thing, light and dark on two colors and black. It reminds me of Dirk Brody. So tasteful. Thought I have it. What's weird is the pizza tree pizzas don't have pineapple on them. I looked for it. The Halloween tree is Ray Bradbury. Okay, one I didn't read. Is that in the Illustrated Man? It's not something kids should read. Well, other than when we read it in school, some of us laughed when the old man was described as having horny hands. Oh, that's bad. Yeah. Let's see there. I hope that's visible enough. It is a bit dim in here. All right, so the pizza tree wakes up. It's a horror show from there on out. And where do they go to get advice but the after hours comic book store? That's exactly where they go, of course. This brings back on. There we go. It's a little bit better. I'll try not to, because if I lay it flat, you don't get much glare. So that's good. Anyway, they get advice from the comic book guy. And thus he is going to he does some more research and decides he has to go rescue them, etc., save the day. And it's a cute story. So thanks, Mark Polton, for giving us a cute story. However, there is one little small twist at the end. I won't quite spoil, but they go after the tree. Anyway, I've pretty much read you or described to you almost the entire book. Let's see. Halloween tree. A kid named Pimpkin has appendicitis and his soul is transformed into a pumpkin on Death's tree at Halloween, and he steals it, and his friends help Death chase him down. Oh. He steals it, the tree. Okay. Comic guy is literally the last person yes. Yes. And look at this comic book guy. It's not quite Simpsons, but it's getting there. Yeah, here he is. Thick arms, big big torso, beard to cover the double chin. Hope I haven't spoiled too much of this. There is one little twist at the end. Yeah, but if we're just showing things off. Okay. He has, I think, in this printing, some fan artwork. I think, yeah, this is by Chase, his son, when his son was little. Get my hand off of it. There you go. There's that. A couple of fan arts. This one is by somebody named Chris Kotsakis. And another Chase Polton over here. I like a lot of the father and son, father and daughter, mother and child projects that come from. Yeah, I at least like the idea. The projects aren't always great, but the idea of working together like that is always good. This is a really cool drawing. It's by let's see, it says Enrico Botta. Wow. So this was cool. Anyway, it's a review you're allowed to spoil. Yeah, I know. Okay, do you guys want me to spoil before I close out the stream? Do you guys want me to spoil the last little bit of Pizza Tree? I'm looking at the chat. Waiting. I feel like when I prevent dead air, I feel like I'm talking too much. But, sure. Okay, crazy man. There was something else up here. That's for advice. I think it hasn't come through yet. The comic book guy looks like a fat Skip Edwards. That's why he looks so familiar. Yes, absolutely true. Okay, the last little bit I was going to spoil is at the end, or not going to spoil, at the end, after they deal with the pizza tree, one of the leaves on it survives. And and they keep it around like it's a little pet or something, which is hilariously weird, but he's over here eating at the restaurant with them. That's it. That's all I was going to spoil. Hey, Omarosa. How you doing? Well, thanks for showing up, Omarosa. Appreciate it, but I'm kind of done for the night. I mean, it was a short stream. I reviewed a bit. I'm trying not to open too many boxes at once. And I do have one coming from Eric Nieltowski. That's on the stack. He said that to let him know when I'm going to open it, and I haven't let him know, so I shouldn't open that one tonight. There are other ones. If you guys want to go back to the beginning, that's cool. I showed the unboxing of this as that was pre-recorded. And then, what else is going on? Okay, I also have a box from Iconic Comics, and we'll do that one next week, I think. That includes books for my mom. I'll explain that when we do it next week. Okay, why are you slamming the little... Whoop? Why are you slamming the little comic book guy like that, Mo? Hey guys, thanks for coming by. I am trying to work up my intro and outro. Let's see. So I have a semi-edited outro here where this is just all the B-roll footage from one camera. And I'm going to use this and cut it and other things. Thanks for coming by, guys. I appreciate it. Have a good night.